workshops are changing, mechanical days are changing, online content's changing, everything is changing.
This is before I started working in the automotive field, and I got taken for an absolute ride. And I got told, you can't own that, you're a chick. You may see on Facebook that we have a Facebook group. However, we are physically not a group. One of the biggest questions we get asked is, are you a group? Now, we are not a group. That is the biggest question I get asked for drive shows, events, online, messages, you name it. Are you guys a group? You may see on Facebook that we have a Facebook group. However, we are physically not a group. We are an event. We are a networking area for women to come together. We are a community. We're not a group. So with the Facebook group you see, the only reason I started that is because I wanted to create a safe space for women to come to ask each other questions. So it doesn't matter where you live, but hey, I live in Brisbane or whatever, and I'm chasing a decent mechanic. Does anyone know anyone? That's the reason we really added the Facebook group there, so people can communicate and not feel judged. That is the only reason I have a group. Trust me, I would love to have an app or something where women can do that all and not be a Facebook group, because then you get labeled as a group. But it's just not feasible, and honestly, probably wouldn't work like I want to. So we created that Facebook group so women can go to somewhere safe and ask the questions and not feel judged, because I do monitor it a fair bit. And for people that do know me quite well, if I do start seeing nastiness or rude comments or being judged, I will get crack down on people. It's not fair. So I wanted to create that open, nice space where people could ask the questions that they want to ask and not feel embarrassed or judged. So I would have been about 19 when I got my first four-wheel drive, and don't judge, it was a D40. And I think the first thing I did to it was chuck a big lift and big tyres on it. And I got told, you can't own that, you're a chick. And I went, okay. But I kept copying that everywhere I went. And this was 10, 11 years ago. But I kept copying it no matter where I went. Oh, that's a dude's car. Or is that your boyfriend's car? And it didn't stop. And for me, that was more of a fight to go, no. Okay, I'm going to prove to you that it's mine. I then got a Land Rover, probably the worst choice I ever made. It was an absolute lemon. So kind of put a bad taste in my mouth for a little bit. So then I went into imported cars, and I had a little Impreza. It was a little fun car. Then I got bored, which is when I bought probably my second most favorite four-wheel drive that I own, which was my Surf. Yet again, big lift, big tires. Don't know why that's my go-to, but it's always my go-to. And that thing was probably my second most favorite car. My favorite car, which is Archie.
Right. The reason Miss Archie got her name was when I bought her in Victoria, she had a Dachi sticker on it. By the time I got back to Brisbane, she lost the D and she became Archie. So little fun fact about that. Back to the video.
I've wanted a Patrol, and you can judge me all you want. I've wanted a Patrol since I was, I believe, about 9. My parents had a 2.8. I loved the thing. It was a Series 1, and I wanted a Series 4. As I got older, I started to see the Series 4, and I was like, nah, I want a Patrol. And I'm a Nissan fan. I love them. And I definitely love the Patrols. So I found Archie back in 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I found her in Geelong, actually. And I bought her. It was super cheap. Now, people that have bought cars from Brisbane know that, Patrols are, four-wheel drives up here are stupid. So I drove down and I flew down and bought it and drove back home. I rocked up to get Archie, and she was plain old stocko 4-wheel drive, which for me at the time was like, perfect, I've got a starting board. And the guy that I bought it from, he originally had 33s on it, and he had to swap them down to 31s to get it roadworthy so he could do his part and I could drive it home. So he did that, and guy was absolute legend for doing it all. I got to work, I'm Queensland based, so I got to, I believe, Cooper's Plains at the time. And those little cheap tyre shops, I went there and asked for 33s. I think I had the car 2 days. Then within a week, I went to another shop and said, right, I need those Mickey Thompson 35s and I need a 4-inch lift kit. This is before I started working in the automotive field, and I got taken for an absolute ride. So the tyres were perfect. The lift I put on it. I originally asked for a certain brand, and stupid me at the time didn't really pay attention. I was kind of like, oh, it's a big car. It's awesome. Love it. But I asked for a certain brand. I didn't get it. I asked for a 4-inch lift kit, and it took them like 2-3 days. It was absolutely horrible. Within a week, my shocks broke down. I lost all the bushes from the shocks. I completely just got taken for a ride for my entire suspension. I sagged within 2 weeks, and she wasn't a heavy girl at that stage. She was basically stock compared to what it is now. But I got taken for an absolute ride, and I think I spent about 4 or 5 grand. Actually, no, I believe it was more, just on the lift kit. And it took them, 2-3 days. And every time I would ask them questions, they'd go, oh, yeah, we're still working on it. And I never got told why, what was happening. And back then, I didn't understand at all. I was just like, oh, okay, it is what it is. Fast forward to when I started working in the automotive field. I started working for a 4-wheel drive accessories company. And we installed suspension kits. And I believe it was about my 3rd or 4th patrol that I had in. We basically did the exact same setup, different brand, but same setup that I had on this car. And that's when I went, hang on a minute. This is how much we've charged this customer, and I got charged almost double. Then I had constant problems, and this guy doesn't. And it just, the light bulb started going off in my head that I got taken for a ride. And this is when I started going, well, why is this happening? And is this happening to everyone, or is it just happening to like young females? And I started asking questions with other females and other people and whatnot. And a few guys came back at me and say, look, yeah, maybe 1 in 5 get taken for a ride being a male. But then most of the girls that came back to me, most of them said, yes, 110% I get taken for a ride. And we didn't realize until 6 or 12 months or whatever down the track. Or they'd ask questions and get spoken to in a certain way, or get talked around or over, or the biggest thing, they go straight to the partner. And that's when I was like, right, light bulb, this needs to change. Like, this can't happen. This can't continue the way it's going. It's not fair. So me working in the sales area that I was working in at the time started to change that. And then where I was working, started to see more and more females starting coming in because I was treating them like an equal, and it was starting to get transition a little bit better. We were getting more females, we were getting more interest, we were getting treated, as in women, we're getting treated a little bit better, and things started to slowly change where I was working. Then the boy, well, Luke actually at the time was getting a little bit more demanding at home. He was about to get ready to start kindergarten, so I needed to be home a little bit more. So the hours weren't feasible, which was unfortunate, but it is what it is. And I went back into 4-wheel drives. So the place I worked for actually did 4-wheel drives and trucks. And the 4-wheel drive stuff, easy. the truck stuff, myself and one of the other gentlemen there, and it was an all-guy team, or in my department at the time, it was an all-guy team. But one of the other guys, he was the truck wizard. He knew everything about trucks. And same thing as the previous company. We used to get a bunch of farmers, cockies, drivers, try and talk around me, try and talk over me like I didn't know what I was doing. And he was probably the best co-worker I could work with. So when I'd get those phone calls, I'd pass them on to him because, there's no point arguing with him. So I would go, yeah, mate, I'll pass you through. And I used to pass it through to this gentleman, and he would act dumb every time. And they'd go, well, who do we talk to about this? And then he'd go, oh, you need to go talk to Cass. So they'd pass it back through to me. And just, you could tell the demeanour completely changed. And when they were like, oh, so a female does know what she's talking about. And then I moved over to a more four-wheel drive driven role where I started organising retail side of things and shop side of things. And I got to the point where I needed to grow and I couldn't grow anymore there. And I was teetering on looking elsewhere and moving more into a manager role into the industry so I could help women grow, because I had a bunch of women reaching out to me going, oh, I want to become an apprentice, or I want to work into sales, or a bunch of different things. So I wanted to step into more of a manager role where I could help women and young kids, or I guess can't really call them young, but younger people get into the automotive field. That's when I fell pregnant with Michael. Hey guys, so thank you for joining us with our journey so far. Now I wanted to give you guys something back. Now people have been asking me over the past few days of when our events are going live for next year. Well, they're live, but you'll see that there's no dates there yet. So with that, I wanted to create this little announcement with all the dates for you guys. So for the people that have supported us so far with our YouTube channel, this is for you guys first. So here are all our dates for 2025. This covers all of our Queensland dates. We've got one in New South Wales, and we are working on two currently, one for New South Wales and one for Victoria. I'm hoping I can get that through shortly. So make sure you guys don't miss out on them. We have very limited tickets, very limited numbers, and I'm very, very excited for what's to come. Once they're sold out, they're sold out. So don't miss out. So announcement number 2, guys. We have been updating our merch line. So for some of you sneaky little ones that have been onto the website already, you would have seen that we have some new ranges coming in. We have our crowd favorites, but we also have some new ones coming in. So we got the Makeup to Mud. That's a new one coming in. I've had a few girls asking me that one for a few years. It's actually on the back of my car. The second one is our mental health one. So this is our You Got This range, and I absolutely love the design. I'm super excited for it, and I really can't wait for it to come in. They are all available for pre-order. They are currently due to come in I think the first or second week of October. So fingers crossed, they should be here shortly. And I'm super, super excited to start getting all these empowering messages out to everyone. So make sure you guys don't miss out on them either. We only have limited amounts coming in at this stage. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone so far that has been watching our video. It's huge for me. Honestly, I've been trying to explain to people my history, what I've gone through, my struggles, whether it be in the automotive space, four-wheel drive space, or just physically. So I'm really appreciative of everyone that has joined us so far and is hopefully enjoying our video. So this is almost over. We have our announcements done. So keep on to our social media. We have more videos coming out, but we also have 2 more announcements going out to everyone. These are 2 more events that we have coming for the year, so don't miss out on them. You lucky little guys are the first ones to see our event dates and our new merch line if you haven't seen it already. So get onto it before everyone else does. We will be releasing that stuff live as of tomorrow. That's Friday. So make sure you guys don't miss out. We really want to, open it up to everyone. That's always my aim, is to bring it to everyone across Australia, and I'm slowly but surely getting there. So don't miss out. Jump online, and we'll see you guys soon. Within a month, got told, or 2 months, sorry. It was, I think, the week that we came back from the Melbourne 4x4 show. They said that I had to make a choice. I had to work or risk losing him.
and risk losing him wasn't an option. So unfortunately, I had to leave that role. I couldn't pursue anything else. And that's when all my ideas started going into Girls' Day Out. All of these ideas I've had for the past few years, I needed to start putting down and start actioning. That is what has led to now. All of that information, all of that knowledge I have, and you ask anyone, I'm kind of like a sponge. I will sit there in a room and I will listen to everything, and I'll just absorb it. And all of that now I need to rinse out, I guess, and put it on paper and start showing these girls how we can transform it, how they can learn stuff, how they can grow. So that is what 2025 has to come. Is all of these ideas that have been absorbed are about to be rinsed out. And that means that workshops are changing, mechanical days are changing, online content's changing, everything is changing for good. And I'm hoping that the girls that have been with us from the beginning continue to be with us, and those girls grow as well. So, 2025. I want to grow so much and so quickly, and I've been told I need to slow down. So, for 2025, I'm bringing back the events a little bit. So we've got, I think, like I said, 5 or 6 events for the year. And we're limiting numbers because I like the small groups. I feel like everyone's learning better in the smaller groups. We're getting along better. It's more genuine. It's more quality. It's just better. So I want to bring back those numbers, make them smaller groups. We're doing, as I said, we're doing about 5 or 6 events. Along with that, everything that I'm doing in person at our workshops, I'm doing online. So I'm breaking down our workshops online. I'm making them really simple and really straightforward, so you can understand and you can get your own grasp on it, because we are like, everyone learns differently, and we know this. So we want to make our workshops in person as physically worthwhile for the ladies as much as we can. You're stuck in the middle of the track and go, I don't know how to do a puncture repair. Then you can kind of be like, step by step, cool, got it. It's a kind of, like a little bit of reassurance. Along with that, we've obviously got the shows. There's something that I love doing because I love meeting the people, and I love meeting the girls and the women that go, I want to join the industry. How do I get into it? What do I do? What do I get? How do I go forward driving? How do I go camping? So that's where the four-wheel drive shows are great for us, because we get to meet those girls. We get to help them grow. So I'm hoping to do more next year, more shows, so we can start to bridge that side of things and the communication side of things a little bit better. The amount of support that we've had since from 2020 to now has grown so much, and I get a humble moment every now and then when I start to see the amount of support we do get. And there's been a few times I've almost been in tears because I've seen the amount of support I have behind me, not just at home and everywhere and around me, but also at the shows and at the events. There's been a few times I've had to take a minute and go, oh wow, we're making this happen. So with that support, we really hope that continues in 2025, and we really love to see more girls at the events and start seeing women grow. So if you're wanting to grow, if you're wanting to learn more, if you're wanting to meet like-minded women, come to our events, come to the four-wheel drive shows. I think we've got a handful next year. Like I'm a busy lady. Come join us, come learn more, come be a part of it, come ask the questions. You might think they're stupid, they're probably not, because if you're thinking them, everyone else is thinking them. But come be a part of it. As I've said to many of the young women that have asked the questions or wanted to step their toes in, you're not going to know until you ask. You're not going to know until you dip your toes and find out. So come and ask the questions, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, events, workshop days, shows, whatever. If you see me and you have questions, come ask me. I'm honestly going to help as much as I physically can whenever I can. It's just the type of person I am. So come see us at the shows, come see us at our events, and I really hope you guys can grow and learn and continue to support us the way everyone's supported us so far.
Rightio, so on next episode, we start our build series. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, you get to see some really, really cool builds. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode.